Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. We're in the campaign season, all sorts of vibrancy in the political sector. The latest news being that one of the parties, ACPN, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, with which Mrs. Oby Ezekwesili, was fronting as the presidential candidate of, well, she's just announced she's withdrawing herself from the race. By now you know the story. She's withdrawn herself. INEC has issues with that. Even her own party has issues with that. But nobody can do it better than the story we put out already. Let's look at that story.
Dr. Oby Ezekwesili only wanted to use the platform of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, ACPN, to negotiate to be Nigeria finance minister. This, she does not deem fit to inform the party whose mandate she is holding. We want to inform the whole world and supporters of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria nationwide and all our members that we are seizing this opportunity of this press conference to endorse the second-term bid of President Muhammadu Buhari to take Nigeria to the next level. Tell her that we are not aware of the several and multifarious accounts that herself and her personal aides have opened to generate funds, but we are aware that money was coming to her in droves, but we didn't know the sources of this fund. That she should please come and render account to us and come and give back to the party all that belongs to the party. Because without a party, nobody will give her any fund or donate anything to her.
Well, so there we have it. In case you were wondering, what kind of a sort of a separation was it? Was it acrimonious? Was it not? Well, you get a sense. The party has its complaints, and my guest this morning is Dr. Jide Johnson, Deputy Provost, Nigerian Institute of Journalism. Thank you very much for coming on, Jide.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Indeed, and I know you have other important things. First of all, let me say happy birthday, today being your birthday. But here we are talking serious national issues.
It's a national assignment.
It is a national assignment.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
What do you make of this? Oby suddenly abandoning the race, as it were, and her party saying that she didn't behave in the best way possible as far as they were concerned.
First, most of these parties, apart from 2 or 3 of the parties, of the 97 parties we have, are parties existing on the pages of newspaper. They are media-centered parties that had no structure nationwide, and which take us to a deeper issue that some of us have argued that there is a need for us to review what it will require for you to be a political party in Nigeria. I think that if you are registering party for 2023 election, they should first start as political association before they are registered as a political party. I think we need a part because, one, a lot of taxpayers' resources will have been wasted as a result of the ballot papers being printed for the presidential candidate. That's 97 minus 1, that's 96. We never know how many of these parties will withdraw their candidature for the election, and sometimes you see these parties being formed to be used as a negotiating tool,
which is indeed one of the allegations that the party itself has made in relation to their own candidate.
To be used as negotiating tool, both the party and the candidate sometimes tends to use this as a negotiating tool, and it creates confusion. Confusion in the sense that we are close to the election. A candidate is throwing it over, and just last Saturday, the candidate was at the presidential debate. Well, she must have denied some other people the space they could have occupied if she had thrown in the towel concerned. I think we need to reform.
Can one from all of what you've just said then conclude that Oby Ezekwesili wouldn't have done what she did if it wasn't almost like unavoidable? Because as you know, she's been an activist, she has ideas, she's served in government, she really fancied her chances, and then suddenly throwing it all up.
Donald Trump had all the money. He could have run as an independent candidate. The last person that tried in America got his fingers burnt. His name is Ross Perot.
Ross Perot.
In 1992. So Ross Perot got his fingers burnt running as an independent candidate. He went to a party that has structure. For you to win election, you need structure. Most of these parties have no structure.
And that's the point.
They have
quite
no
simply,
structure.
there's little more to be said after that. Most of them, apart from the first two, I don't know if you want to add a third one, no structure.
No structure. So
And
why
so-
should we be wasting taxpayers' money for such parties that have no structure?
As you know, the
and I
laws-
think that there should be a penalty.
Our laws are
Are you
the
getting my
laws.
point?
The laws
I think
are the
that
laws, and
the
that,
laws,
these
we
people are
must make
allowed
this-
the right
the whole
to
essence,
form
the whole
a party.
essence of democracy is to give people the opportunity to make choices, not to create confusion.
Indeed.
Now, the party structure we have creates confusion. It does not allow people to get their message out clearly because there's a lot of noise out there. Obi is campaigning, Shore is campaigning, Mogalu is campaigning,
Duro Toye is campaigning.
and then there are presidential candidates. My neighbor is boss in the office. He's a presidential candidate. He's campaigning. And, you know,
Okay.
we are not getting the message. We are not getting the message.
Interestingly, in the fallout of all of this, her party has now said, you know what? We are declaring for the APC presidential candidate. We are adopting him.
Why are they registered as a political party in the first instance?
There you go. Now, you know what? Let's take a quick break here because we have to bring on Senator, I beg your pardon, where there are quite a number of omishores in the political
I
space.
think this one is honorable.
So this is Honorable Ipwola Omishore. He's an educationist as well as a politician. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, please. Okay, welcome back. And so, Senator, well, I keep on saying Senator. Maybe I want the Honorable who served in the Lagos State House of Assembly to go over to the Senate, but I'm talking about the Honorable formerly of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Ipwola Omishore.
Nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible. I mean, who knew? Yesterday, early hours, Eze Kwesili was presidential candidate. And then within a few hours, she wasn't. How did that news grab you? Because there are many who think that was a pity, perhaps. She would have made the race more interesting. She took part in a presidential candidate debate and all of that. But now she's pulled out, and her party has responded by saying, well, they didn't exactly say so, but it's almost as if they said, good riddance to bad rubbish. And by the way, we're now adopting President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC's candidate.
Well, I'm not really surprised. If a bird go ahead and sit on the eggs of another bird, that bird will eventually leave. A party that was formed by some people, and somebody just come in and want to be presidential candidate, she didn't really understand the motive of those who set up the party.
That is, you're talking about Allied Congress Party,
yes,
her party.
She just, hibernate, became the hen over some eggs laid by some people. So naturally, those who lay the eggs have their own plans. And she too, as a show woman, was able to carry herself up to that point. And at the end of the day, stage managing, politics is beyond that. It's beyond being able to talk. It requires you to set up a structure. It requires to have, chapters all over the local government, all over Nigeria. All these parties have no offices. And because of the various court judgments, INEC seems to have surrendered the most important aspect of party formation. In those days, they will inspect all offices in local government, in state, and Abuja. But today, because of the courts, anything goes.
Okay, let anybody who says he wants,
what has happened is that Obi, a very brilliant woman, a possible candidate of the future, is not able to create a structure, was just talking. It was a media hype. And what we have seen is that that candidate has whistled out. And we still have a lot more.
Because when you said all these parties don't have, it's like just that expression. All these parties.
Most of these parties.
All
is this CUPP? A collection of mushroom parties they make noise and louder and louder. There was one with a red cap, spokesman for the CUPP, talking every day, confusing the voters. But at the approach of the elections...
Now that you go to a matter of confusing, CUPP, you can't think of CUPP without thinking of former President Obasanjo, and he's part of that. The whole thing, who is confusing anybody more than anybody else? President Obasanjo and Atiku were in there for 8 of the 16 years that APC people refer to as the years of the locust, and now these people are recommending each other.
When people talk about that 16 years, it's just national anthem of APC, and which is not reality, because if you reviewed, you can't take anything away from what Obasanjo did, but that's another issue for another discussion. These parties are no parties, and like Honorable said, I think it behoves on the night National Assembly to come up with a law that will guide you becoming a party, using the 2019 election as a base, that if you don't have a councillor, you cannot be registered as a party in a local government. If you don't have a member of State House of Assembly, at least a single member, you should not be registered as a party in a state. If you don't have a House of Rep member and a senator, at least a senator, in the last election, you are not qualified to be registered as a political party.
But we've crossed all those bridges.
No, we need that because the confusion...
You are saying that we need it.
Because
but
we've crossed all those bridges. What is the message concerning...
I like the way he put it. INEC has surrendered. But okay, if this is what democracy and the courts have brought about, so be it.
Courts don't solve problems, it's laws. Now, what's the message concerning 2019 election? I'm asking, what's the thematic element concerning 2019 election?
That Buhari is the front runner.
There are no issues. You see that, you can't go to America, you have a closed...
Which are non-issues.
We have, like Yoruba will say, I'm fake bule, I'm palakpalakpa. You are living, so you are dealing with the acne on the body.
Okay.
We are living serious issue. We should be getting the messaging concerning the election. What are the candidates going to do concerning education?
No promises.
Concerning healthcare, concerning infrastructure. We are not hearing that. What we are hearing, I'm leaving today, I collected money, I didn't collect money. Is that
when the party, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, when they almost, immediately responded with, first of all, she wasn't a party woman from what they said. Number one. Number two, this whole matter of withdrawal from the race, we were not done the courtesy of being informed. Number three, allegation of because of her personality and her reach, alleging donations being received from all over the place, demanding that account had to come and be made to them. So, quite frankly, something of an acrimonious. But probably, I don't think it will be too far out to imagine that there are other people, other parties in this precise situation. It's just that Obi's action has brought this to the fore and made it boil over. So to go to Jide's question, what does all of this say in the run-up to the presidential election, which is now weeks away? What do you think this says about...
You see, it's a pity that, like Jide said, a lot of things have overshadowed the real thing. In those days, we will hear 4 cardinal points, we have promises that we can hold. Till today now, you cannot even hold Atiku or Buhari to anything, because there is a lot of diversion. The tactics are so much that is negative on the part of all political parties. No promises, nothing. And you see, I have a lot of people who are just there for the running. You can imagine the Duro Toyo of this world, the Mogalu, the Showore, they should have been in one party. But they spread themselves. Instead of being members, they want to be presidents. And believe you me, after election, they will go back to their America, they will go back to their offices, they will not nurture. Those who are contesting have nurtured parties over the years. Buhari has been contesting ever since, 4 times. He has built a party, he has built a structure, he has built followership to the courtish level. But these people will just come in, brilliant ideas. That's why I'm sorry for the young ones. They are not ready to sow for anything to germinate, and they want to rule. Those who want to rule in 2023, by now we should know them. They should be, up and doing. But now, believe you me, brilliant minds, Obi, Okezile, Ruto and all of them. They
Whereas
have tried now.
whereas I come along with everything that you're saying, I don't know. I just think maybe like everybody else, one just thinks of these ideas. When you say fresh blood, they need to pay their dues, set up structures, and then we are no. If you look at Macron in France, did you really know about Macron, for example?
Macron was finance minister. Macron was finance minister.
Nobody knew.
No, we may not know him down here.
Where?
The party knew him.
Okay.
He was a party man.
Okay.
He was a minister. He was in the diplomatic arm.
So you're saying that he had made his chops already?
Yeah,
This guy
he's
was already known in that society. And that would be the difference between what
Yori,
obtained there.
Uncle Yori, nothing starts from the top.
Nothing.
Except God is at the top. Nothing starts from the top. You see, that's why you see a lot of people.
So the Macron idea is not a very good example.
It's a good example.
No, you can't, because I was just looking at suddenly
Macron was a good example of a young man who was in the party system.
Okay.
He didn't just come from Nigeria.
Okay.
He was in the party. He was a minister.
People look. I have an
But he was
iconic
young.
picture.
Or he's still young.
He still is.
I have an iconic picture of Tell magazine where Abiola was in front and Asiwaju was holding his bag. You can't come to leadership without
That's
apprenticeship. You can't come to leadership without apprenticeship. That's why for David to be the king, he had to go and play music in the palace. For him to learn about the ways and manners to behave when he gets to the palace. Now we have a lot of people that want to become president that have never worked in public service before.
Like Trump.
Trump was different.
Which public service did Trump
He
work?
was in Nigeria. He was in the embassy here.
Listen, Trump's case was different.
He was even in the.
He was involved in the party system, donating money to candidates, being involved in at different levels in terms of engagement with the political class.
But he was
very close. He was very, very close to the Clinton family.
Sorry,
do you know that Chelsea and Trump's daughter, they were best of friends. They are best of friends.
Honorable, you wanted to add something.
I was trying to correct Jide. He was in the diplomatic mission. He worked in Nigeria.
No, it was.
No. Are you talking about Macron?
I'm talking about Macron.
Oh, okay,
Macron.
Macron.
He was talking about
we've
Trump.
moved on to Trump. Say another unknown. He's not a young man, but in the American political system, it was like fresh blood.
If you look at it,
but it wasn't. He's not a young man, but it was like fresh blood. So I'm saying all of this in relation to
even if you look at Trump's
the way
case,
you're looking at the fresh blood that joined the race.
Let's forget about the question of fresh blood. Even look at Trump's case, it became a disaster.
Yes.
Because
there are people who see it like that.
He didn't know anything. All he had was the willpower and the financial strength.
Which his supporters see as a strength for the freshness of
approach.
approach.
At the end of the day, governance.
No. I think it depends on the perspective with which you are looking at it. Now, American politics is polarized. Polarized in the sense that if you ask some core Republicans, they will tell you Obama was a disaster. Now, if you have Democrats now, they tell you Trump is in the last 16 years, American politics has been polarized along the two ideological divide characterizing their politics. But bringing it back home, some of these people are best as technocrats.
Okay, these presidential candidates.
Some of them are best as technocrats, coming up with ideas. It is not everybody that can lead. Now, leading a country is beyond oratory skill, is beyond intellectual.
See the problems,
exactly.
have ideas on the problems.
So you have ideas on the problem. And then you can't lead what you are not part of. What you don't know the process. Now, if you take these parties, for example, if they win, how would they govern? They don't have senators. Most of them don't have senatorial candidates. Even in where they are going to vote, I'm not sure they have House of Assembly member. These are areas that the media need to go to. Okay, you want to be president. Who is the House of Rep candidate of your party? Who is the senator? Some of them don't even have gubernatorial candidate. But because the media provides you the platform through which you get visibility, so they use the media platform to talk about, I want to be president. I want to be president. The last time I was on set, I told you that in 2023, I too will print poster and that I want to be president. Am I ready? Am I ready for the presidency? So these are the issues that we need to take into consideration.
The Allied Congress Party has thrown in with APC. saying that, look, APC's candidate is who we're now throwing our, weight behind. And, well, I don't know. That probably is the end of that. By the way, INEC, as you know, has said that, well, sorry, no can do. All these things you're talking about, that's not the way it works. There are regulations. There's a number of days within which you can do what you've done now. So none of this is going to work. So what it probably means is that the bottom effect, which is that Obi doesn't want to be in the race. Yeah, she won't be in the race because she won't, and now that she's announced it, nobody's going to actually spend their vote in that direction. But still, Obi probably hoped to translate her activism both in the Obasanjo administration and also out of it when it came to Bring Back Our Girls and all of that. She probably thought there was currency in that. And only Lord knows what has happened, that she has now pulled out without informing her party, allegedly. At least that's what the party said, as you saw on the clip. So maybe that is his own commentary on the political space in Nigeria. Has the race changed? Has the dynamics changed? I don't know. Do you think the dynamics have changed because of Obi's?
I think so. Obi probably discovered that it's getting to the peak. The election is coming nearer. She probably needed, people to work for her, polling booth agents. This is the time to spend money. This is time to really, do everything you have to do. And probably because of the party that is just merely on paper. You see, in those days we
And what you are saying about her party, you probably mean about a lot of other parties.
I don't want to mention names.
I know, that's why I just put it like that.
You have seen a lot of parties saying, we have no presidential candidate, we have no gubernatorial candidate. Even in Lagos State, we have had many who say, we have no governorship candidates.
Therefore,
why are you a political party?
Therefore, we endorse.
So that's why we endorse. And that is why INEC should go back to the olden days, whereby when you want to register a party, there must be conditions. In fact, I remember when they were sharing my father's property. One of those things that I inherited was the Action Group party card. The payment, up to date, up to the time the old man died. So in these days, no followership. It's just people who have money go to INEC and they register political parties. Some people have more than 8 political parties.
In their pocket.
You can see how easy it is for Amosu to quickly get a party. And his party is supporting the president of his party. His governorship is going another way. So this confusion, INEC too must go to court or get the National Assembly to pass amendment, because at the end of the day, they are going to confuse people. You can imagine if they say no now. Can you remember some parties invalidated most elections because they said they missed their logo, even though they were non-existing. So
anybody can.
Now that you cannot eat your cake and have it. If you can go to court and challenge that they leave your logo out of the ballot paper, then you want to also leave at the wrong time. There must be penalty. And if there are no penalties, it is important that INEC, request for an amendment to the law.
Okay.
So that any party that decides to leave before a particular date, that party, must be penalized.
Okay. Shegun is on the line. Good morning, Shegun.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
God bless you for this program. May the Lord increase your wisdom. I want to contribute to this program.
Sure.
Hello.
Yes.
You see, the party we're talking of, I agree with the honorable. You see, before the formation of any party, they need to check them very, very well and bring down to streamline the party to even 5 political parties, not 70, 80, that we cannot fund them. And in case of Obi, you see what really happened really is that Obi, the Lord has given her intelligence. Maybe she has seen what is happening within the party. Those that organize this party, operate this party, they have different intentions from our own intention. And when she sees that, she has to opt out. And the party leader is like beating a child. And you say the child should not cry. You see, she has known what they are after. So I really give kudos to Obi. So God help Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling.
That if someone could not manage a party, how would the complexity of a party, how would that person manage Nigeria?
No,
I am
but
sure
I think the point,
reality-
I think the point has already been made by you gentlemen that
doesn't-
more or
she
less
doesn't own the party.
they were very strange bedfellows. She was not really part of the
complexity of governance is much more than intelligence.
No, Jide.
The complexity
But did they
of-
have a relationship?
Sorry,
Did
did
Obi and ACPN have a relationship? Obi is
Let's
no.
have a scenario.
Obi is no pushover.
Let's have a scenario construction.
just
Obi
came.
is no
Obi
pushover.
just came.
And so I like
Yori-
what this gentleman just said, what
Yeah, he
Shegun
said-
just said. Obi is no pushover.
Uncle Yori-
She realized that the
cannot
way these
blame
people
Obi.
are thinking is not the way I'm thinking.
Uncle Yori, I agree with you, but let's create a scenario construction. Imagine their party wins the presidency. Let's translate their bed of strange fellows.
Then
How would they
suddenly
govern
we
them?
now have a
You
President
see, that
Obi.
takes us to the deeper issue. INEC or the executive can approach the 9th National Assembly. Let us make a law that will lead to creation and establishment of politics. It's wastage. If you look at the amount of money that we spend.
Let's spend more time on this when we come back from break.
Okay.
I'm under pressure to go on break now. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. We'll take your calls. Welcome back, and we're looking at Obi Ezekwesili of ACPN withdrawing from the presidential race. Effectively, Madam Due Process, as she was also known, is out. This is a noble Nigerian. She's an activist. She's very, very forward when it comes to all those kind of issues of fairness and all of that. But so maybe there are those who are saying that there's going to be something in this. Now Obi has pulled the rug from under her feet. I use her nickname Madam Due Process. That's because of the way she worked. I'm just guessing now that the way her mind works, there would have been some presumptions, some logical, roots. And if anybody is going to go about that, I wonder if the Madam Due Process aspect of her just kicked in and says, no, I'm not going to stand for this. But whatever be the case, I understand there's someone else on the line. Mr. Odedeyi, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning to the panelists in the house.
Good morning, bro.
You see, these political parties that are just springing up anyhow in Nigeria, I've always termed them parties of endorsement. Because what we realize is that most of them, when the election is approaching, you see 25 parties endorsing candidate A, 29 parties endorsing candidate B, and if you, go further, you should dig deeper, you will realize that most of the time, these endorsements are for pecuniary benefits. So, I see no reason why we should just open up the political space for every Dick and Harry to be coming in and saying they are political parties. There should be a strict control because it involves a lot of money, a lot of spending by INEC to be able to accommodate all these political parties in the election period. So let us find a strict way of regulating political parties, not just everybody. And on OB, I think it has been unfair, the comment of the party about her, saying that they have realized that it was just negotiating, using the platform of the party to negotiate for political gains. Because I think what has happened is what she has told us. Many people have been pressurizing people like her to unite together. I've called on many platforms to ask these people, why don't you people unite and support a single candidate so that you can provide a formidable force against the APC and the PDP? I think it is because of campaigning all over the country. People might have talked to her or the need to look at this direction. And maybe that is why she has decided to came in. So, maligning her and talking all these things, I don't think, Obi is somebody many of us respect because of her stand for the well-being of this nation. So let them not just be calling her names because of this fact. Good morning.
Thank you very much for calling in. That's politics for you. Did you want to add something?
I just want to say that politicians, most of them are satanic. You want to dine with them, you must have long spoon. They want to, put blemish on the woman.
Yes.
But that's why I said some eggs were laid. The woman just came to, sit on it. She didn't know how poisonous those eggs were. She didn't know you see, political parties have become almost communist. It's now registered like a CAC. Some politicians have 5 parties in their pocket. So anytime there's any action, they bring it out. But Obi has refused to go and negotiate. She could have gone to the president and go to Aso Rock, say, Mr. President, I now support you. But a decent woman has tried to spoil the dining on the table, dining of those politicians. They are not happy with her because she could have, led them to go and collect big money, but the woman said no. On principle,
that's not her style.
I would rather support somebody else. So they are politicians. They are directors of those political parties.
Those political
I salute her courage, actually.
Brilliant woman.
I salute her courage in throwing the towel. It's not easy.
Let me come back to you, sir, to complete that. Alhaji Abdullahi in Kaduna has been waiting. Good morning, Alhaji Abdullahi.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, Alhaji. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Please, actually, I just want to say something concerning the resignation of Obi Ezekwesili. You see, hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for calling.
You see, whenever I see political contestants talking about being president, it baffles me. Now, imagine just the serious situation with this party that makes her to resign. The problem of Nigeria is far million times more than this problem she had within a party that makes her to resign. What if she's a president? What would then happen? Then within a second, she will continue resigning. Every second she will be resigning. So that is why it's actually good.
Okay.
For all these countless number of parties we are having. They have no use to this country. It will never help.
Interesting.
So that is just what I have.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi. An interesting perspective that, look, whatever storm she ran into there that has caused her to withdraw, does this show the mettle of the lady? What would have happened if she was...
No, I said that earlier.
Yeah, which is what Jide said.
I said it earlier, but I salute her courage in the sense that in 2022.
Yes,
but another issue which I want to talk about is anybody can say I'm not interested in the election. It's not for INEC to say that you can't force an unwilling horse to run a race. If I say I'm not contesting again, I'm not. It's part of your franchise, the right to vote and to be voted for. But for INEC to insist that it's too late, they are not substituting the candidate. It means that the party will not have a candidate for the
party has realized.
I think what INEC is trying to say, sorry, Jide, what INEC is trying to say, they are playing safe. To say that we cannot go and print another ballot paper.
Just in case you are thinking about
Some people will still vote for that party. So it's a smart way of saying, if they say yes, we accept, it means that they are going to go and print another batch of. It's a smart way.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to the House.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Uncle George.
Uncle Yori, this is one of the reasons why decent people shy away from politics in Nigeria. You see how they are trying to rubbish Obi now. All those things that party chairman was saying cannot be true of the Obi that we know in this country.
Yes.
The things she is known for is selflessness. Her child, her daughter, is not among the children that were abducted in 2014. And she stayed outside the sun for 3.5 years, asking for those children to be brought back. Her own daughter was not among them. That kind of a person will not be the one that will be taking money that was donated for party. She is not looking for money. She is looking for what can make Nigeria great. Uncle Yori, it takes me to what I've been advising people that I see contesting for presidency. They should start with party that can win. Imagine if Obi were to pick a ticket in a major party and she wins a senatorial election and she becomes the Senate president. Or you have somebody like Shawore as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Any government in place will sit up. So if somebody like Femi Gbajabiamila comes out now and say, I want to be governor, nobody will doubt his capacity. But to just come out and say you want to become president when you don't even have any structure in place, it's laughable to me. Doesn't mean that they didn't think well before making this decision. I have privileged information about how that party invited this woman. She was not actually preparing to join any political party. She was only campaigning that both PDP and APC should not be allowed to come back. It was this party that went to her to invite her. Now they are saying all sorts of things. It's very sad.
Yes.
This is not the kind of person that such things should be said about. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr.
Uncle Yori, taking a cue from what George has said, I think the major parties need to also have a strategy. In America, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, they go around America shopping for candidates,
right.
looking for viable people that could run the election. You raise a valid point. Imagine if we have the quality of Moalu, Obi, Feladro Toye in the National Assembly. Imagine if we have like 10 Obis, just 10 Obis in the National Assembly. In the Senate, how vibrant do you think that Senate is? How active do you think that Senate would defend the interest of the Nigerian people?
But do you blame those parties?
No, the parties. Their parties are not properly structured. Don't let us even go to the major party because most of those parties are full of
forget about parties. The real cause actually is that the decent ones, the educated ones, the brilliant ones, they will say politics is for ruffians. Let them go and do it. They sit on the fence. All those that are coming out for presidency, they are coming out because they are provoked. There have been Nigerians for many years, they were sitting on the fence. All of a sudden, they discovered that Nigeria is getting to a serious decline. They now want to come overnight. I think the best is that the qualified ones, the brilliant ones, the well-endowed ones should come into politics.
Okay. Yakub, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, very good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning. Good morning. And then Dr. Jide Johnson.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Chiviori, I think this is the time that there would be a law whereby if you said you want to become a president of this country, and then an hour to the poll, quote and unquote, you dare withdraw. I think there should be a punishment for such things. Why am I saying that? INEC spend a lot of money to print out all this ballot paper, and then you said that you withdraw. Okay, I could remember Opiese Kwesele is a one-man poll. She was the one started the red card process that but the two leading parties should be given red card. I think the last caller said it all. For me, a place where you can make a credible change and then faster change is a National Assembly. What do you think if you show all of this or more of this order and all that, and including Sister Obi in the National Assembly? All these kinds of people that we have in the National Assembly today that cannot give us a law whereby will make Nigeria progress in time. They will be able to change something in terms that so that Nigerian citizens will know them that yes, those are the people we need in the National Assembly. A situation whereby a senator says that they are taking 13.5 million running costs every month. Somebody like Obi will never do that, and then we say that no, we shouldn't take all this money. But what are we talking about today? They are taking that money. Obi is a question of this one. She believes that when I become a president, I can be able to change it, which is cannot be possible because all those people, they know themselves. And then I will advise them to go to the National Assembly. We know the party. We know the leading two leading parties, APC and PDP. Even though the APC is the leading party, the other one, Call PDP. As time goes on, the house that they are riding is going to fall behind. Thank God. God bless you.
Thank you very much for calling. Well, interesting political times. Those in the leading parties, APC, PDP, they're probably observing all of this. I guess, what do you think the perspective, what can the possible concepts be with APC, for instance? Now that those people have said that we're throwing in with President Muhammadu Buhari and his APC.
It has been like this for long. Even the last election, a lot of them throw into well, a lot of them do this, do that. And I think, it's not to the joy of all the two major parties. They hardly need all these people because they have no followership. It's a question of leadership.
Again.
You can imagine.
One has to look at what is the followership of ACT.
You can imagine APM. also took APM chairman to the president. What kind of party is that? Where you are taking to come and probably to come and surrender. I've never seen a war general taken to enemy camp to go and bow. So are those political parties? I'm in Lagos. I've never seen any of their offices in any local government in Lagos State, and yet that's a party. So,
let me hear it from Imo State. Maazi Okorafo. Good morning, sir.
Not Imo State, it's Abia State.
Abia Nio is Abia. Aruchuku.
Good morning, Dr. Professor Johnson. Honestly speaking, sir, honestly, Nigerian politics has now turned to politics of commotion and confusion, where people join political parties based on two factors: A, power; B, money. Above this, now, the disappearance or dumping of the party is not healthy because it's now creating a problem for our women folk who would like to join party or to join political parties to vie for such posts. People will look at them that as they are not serious, that after all, when OBA came on board, this was what they saw. And it's not healthy. Now, look at what is happening with Ghana and the Duke. Confusion, even the so-called the collaborators that are going to the coalition. The coalition force can't even work. Because whereby the structure they have from ground for all these political parties is not healthy, or they are not healthy, and it's also shaking. You see, we have to call a spade a spade. If you want to join party or political party, you know that decide within yourself. Anything you see, whether good or bad, it's just like business. But when you enter into business, there are two options. Either you make profit or you don't. There's not every day you're making profit. It's just like student who went to university or any school. If you want to graduate, you graduate. You want to stay there 20 years. The choice is yours. Well, Professor or Dr. Johnson, happy birthday, Dr. Johnson or Jide. Happy blessed day. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Uncle, it's so sad that we have gotten to this stage with respect to how people with good intentions could be rubbished as a result of politics. Like Honorable said, he said the good people have left politics. No. One, let me talk about it being a wrong signal for women. You know, it will shock you to know that majority of the people playing politics at the grassroots level are women. All you need to do is to go to the ward meetings. I've attended many ward meetings. All you need to do is go to the ward meetings, to go to the LGA. At the base are women, but at the top are men. And it's not a wrong signal. I think we need more women. We need more representation.
Because women don't vote for themselves.
If women vote for themselves, I'm sure we won't have this problem which we're having concerning.
Which is an interesting point.
Yeah,
women don't vote for themselves.
They don't vote. If they had voted for themselves, Hillary would be the president in America today.
Indeed.
She will be the president.
Look at the other lady, the COA lady.
Exactly.
Now it is Dr. Fagbenro Byron, who is the new presidential. I don't know that women supported, but that's we're verging off.
So as with respect to this issue, because we don't want to have this type of issue, you know, we had this, that they go to meet the president. Mimiko was in Labour, took Labour. Labour didn't have a presidential candidate in 2015. You remember, what's the name, Nwanya was something that was the name of their national chairman, a national chairman of party, frolicking with with another party. So most of them use this party to negotiate, and we can't be negotiating with the destiny of Nigeria. The destiny of Nigeria is much more important than negotiating, because on the day of the election, we are going to give our mandate to people that rule us. The word mandate is a combination of two words, man and date. Mandate with destiny. On that day, you sign what Rousseau called a social contract. Your thumbprint can never be forged. Then you thumbprint, and the candidate that has the highest signature gets the vote. That means that the people have decided that for the next 4 years, you are going to take issues and decisions that will affect my life. So we can't be toying with it with people jumping in and out of the process.
Okay. Okpara in VI. Good morning, sir. Lagos here.
Yeah, Uncle Yeri, good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
And good morning to the guests over there.
Good morning.
Uncle Yeri, Nigeria will have outgrown this tradition. Why is it that every regime that comes will bring it to our own guideline? When Babangida came up, we have two political parties that were grown to today. But another regime will come up with a different. How can INEC register as something parties? It's very wrong. We are following American democracy. This is the way America did it. We are not growing. Nigeria will have outgrown this.
But this place
Please,
is not in America.
open.
This is how we do our own. This place is not America.
Caliber. We know what she is up to.
Mr. Okpara,
I think she is frustrated in her party. So please, INEC should be blamed for all this catastrophe. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You didn't hear me, but I was saying that, yeah, I hear you, but this is not exactly America.
Actually, politics is domesticated. Our politics are our politics. Our policy are our policy. But you can improve on it. IDB brought a very brilliant idea, but he bungled it himself. IDB, we have just 2-3 parties. There will be sanity. But our judiciary, our lawyers will go there and argue and turn it upside down, which is the beauty of democracy itself. But I reckon now with what we are seeing, 2023, Nigerians should perfect us, their procedure and make sure that we don't need more than 3 parties. You don't need more than 3 parties.
Anything that is more than 2,
yes,
honorable, is not good. You see that you serve God or the devil. If you have a third choice, some people will go for it. Now, you have 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 legs. Anything that is more than 2. See, I lay before you life and death. What we need, if we had 3 parties in 1992, the message, 1993, the message would not have been as clear as it was between Abiola and Tofa then. If you had had it, but it was very, very clear. It's either Abiola or Tofa. So it was clear Abiola defeated Tofa in Kano, where it comes from. With the structure and the party system that we have, can we have that now? We don't have that subscription. So it's important for us to, once it is in the law of the land, that if you don't have presence, I can't start a business because
I hear what you're saying, but
can I start a business without registering with CAC?
No, that's not going to happen.
Are there guidelines for me to fulfill to be registered? If you don't pay taxes, for example, for 3 years, can you contest the election? Where there are no laws, we can't run a lawless. What we have now is a jungle party system.
But
whereby anybody can wake up tomorrow and establish his party.
The benefits party derives from government is one of the reasons. Do you know that these parties are paid some money? They collect money under this system.
Yes.
Every political party takes money.
Yes.
Whether you have office or not. So once we remove that, those who take it as a business.
It's a business, really. Something to share.
As,
and the point that is being made by Jide that, look, too many parties
result
in headache. But you remember, Ganifa, I think, fought that battle.
That's what I'm saying.
It might be stupid to some, but you see, look, let the people decide. Let us not impose our own individual intelligence was how we ended up with what some are now referring to as a mess.
Until we domesticate our own policies and politics.
Okay. Joshua, our last caller, Joshua in Ilorin, Kwara. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Joshua.
Hello.
Hello, Joshua. Morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. From my view, on my view about this, I think. Hello.
We can hear you, Joshua.
Hello.
We can hear you, Joshua.
Yeah. If this brilliant political candidate, hello.
We can hear you. Okay, Joshua didn't quite make up his mind what he was going to say, and but thank you for calling.
I was trying to say that we have to domesticate our own policies. If we say this is the way we want it,
yes,
and it is not infringing on fundamental human rights of people.
Exactly.
But this is where lawyers create. National Conscience Party of Ganiwa and me started this problem. Till today, they have not been able to win one councillor. But there's a joy that, oh, he has given everybody a level playing ground. But at times, level playing ground, you know, can become a problem.
Okay, well, we got to round up. Producers, we absolutely have to round up. I guess, well, thank you very much, Dr. Jide Johnson, Deputy Provost, Nigerian Institute of Journalism.
It's a pleasure to be with you
and,
on this morning.
Indeed, thank you very much. And from TM, as a friend, we say happy birthday once again.
Thank you very much.
And Chief Ikwola Omishore, politician and educationist, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lord.
ACPN presidential candidate Obi Ezekwesili quits the race, and it's become the gain of APC because her party now says we're throwing our lot in with President Muhammadu Buhari. Okay, more news on the political front, no doubt, by Monday, which is our next day. We don't do weekends. Have a great weekend. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.